First of all, 6 months is brutal for a job search. So sorry to hear that you're going through this. You are not alone, and this time will end. But what you need to do is start looking at what's going on throughout the interview process so you can start to identify bottlenecks or where the process is breaking down. So in the years that I've been in recruiting, it usually comes down to 3 or 4 things. So let's take a look at that. Number one, you could just be applying for jobs that you're not qualified for and that you don't actually have experience for. That happens, and I'm not saying that is your case, but you might want to look at the jobs you're applying for just to see, like, am I actually qualified for this? I recommend looking at jobs that you're 60 to 80% qualified for. You don't need to be overqualified and you don't need to match 100% of the requirements, but you should be able to see based on a job description that you have experience in 80% of the areas that they're asking for. Then we start to look at the resume. So if you're sending out your resume a lot of places and not getting callbacks, I would say that that's probably something with the way your resume reads. So if you're not getting any callbacks, start looking at your resume, start breaking it down. There's a lot of resume templates out there that you can use. And obviously, there's not one single resume template that's going to work. So you're going to want to keep tweaking the resume. You might even want to hire a resume writer. And I can suggest some of those to you if you want to DM me on another platform. Happy to send over some names of people that I trust. Then you need to look at the phone screen. Maybe you're getting callbacks from your interview and you're getting phone screens, but you're not moving past there. Then you're going to start to look at how am I answering the questions in the phone screen, like what's actually going on in those phone screens. Nowadays, there's so much technology, you could literally record those phone conversations and listen back. Listen to how you're answering the questions, how the recruiter is reacting, and maybe even bring in someone else that you trust into this process. Then let's say you're getting past the phone screens, you're getting the interview, the final interview, and you're not getting an offer. You want to do a similar thing. You want to start recording those conversations. You want to start note-taking and taking notes on how you answer the questions, what questions are being asked, and then really start to analyze that and see what you're saying. At the end of the day, interviews are kind of a weird thing. I mean, they're just basically a first conversation. A lot of times people are asking the same questions over and over. So with practice in interviews, you can actually overcome them. And that's what it takes a lot of times, a lot of preparation and a lot of practice. Get better at answering the questions and becoming a better storyteller. Unfortunately, the people that do best in interviews aren't typically the ones who are best for the job. They're just the ones who can communicate the best. So you're going to want to just practice communicating over and over. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if that was. And again, you are not alone. It will end. Just keep pushing.